Hello there, you are watching SkateCode, and today is August 24, 2026. I would like to talk to you about my weather and disaster station called TUIWEATHERGIRL. We are already in version 1.2.15 and there are lots of new things that I would like to talk about. So I already did a video how to install it on Windows, but this video is going to duplicate what I already said. I already did also video how to install it on Linux, but since there are new functionality, I would like to discuss and show you how they work. So I'm going to start from scratch. So what is TUIWEATHERGIRL? So this is personal weather and disaster station, and basically it is a terminal application which is made to show tons of stuff on a single screen. So here you're seeing location, date, time, season, is it day or night. The little asterisk is telling me that currently there is daylight savings time, which is the DST in effect. I can monitor current location, sky situation, temperature, range, which is minimum and maximum temperature forecasted for today, current humidity, forecasted humidity for today, precipitation probability for today, air quality, and wind. Currently here we can see the weather forecast, the 7-day weather forecast with temperatures and precipitation probability. So all the dark blue bars with dots are precipitation probability. Here there are some warnings which I'm going to explain a little bit in detail later, and healthy living window with current seasonal fruits and vegetables for the current season, for the current area. Current celestial situation, so sunrise, sunsets, zodiac, Chinese zodiac, moon phase, and if there is any public holiday, it will be displayed here, but since there is none, just a fun fact is displayed here. We can see when the data was last refreshed, and auto refresh interval is 30 minutes. The only key which is accepted on this screen is Q to quit, and you can close the terminal as well. You can see here cities of interest with temperatures, sky situation, times, and is it day or night. Alright, basically that's it. One of the cities is in blue because this is not a city. This is a polar station. Yes, this is one of the new things that I introduced. You can now monitor the weather on the polar stations. If you are a scientist residing on one of the polar stations, you can even set your location, home location, being on one of the polar stations. And the other new feature is that right now you can set any point on the earth to be your home location. It can be absolutely any point. You can tell that you live in the ocean if you want, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. You can say that you live in the middle of the Saharan desert. As long as you provide coordinates, it will be fine and it will be set as your home. And the other new feature is that I introduced auto update. Now that's brief introduction into the application. Also important to note is that this application is cross-platform, so it works on Windows, Linux, Unix, and should work on macOS, but I have nobody to test it yet. I will try to find somebody to try it. And is screen reader software friendly, so if you are a user which are visually impaired, or you have somebody who is visually impaired, this software is extremely friendly to the screen reader software. I even introduced multiple views, which I'm going to show you, some of which are simple prints to the screen, which is the maximum user friendliness to screen reading software that I can introduce. And basically that's it. This is what this application is. Now how this application is different from the others? Well, exactly that's the thing. This application is showing you a ton of information, which is also color coded and pre-assessed, with some detailed warnings about people with rare medical conditions, which you will not see in any other application. First, for a terminal application, this is extremely powerful application, and second, even for a non-terminal application, you will not see this shown on one screen, especially for free. All right, the warnings. What you're going to see here are different things. So first of all, disasters, environmental disasters. This is what this is. So this is a wildfire, as you can see here, and it's very close. It's only 11 kilometers away from my spot, and we can see that this is a medium fire on a medium area. And while every other warning have a location set in human readable form, here to read this we need to copy and paste this right into Google Maps. What is this? These are the geographical coordinates of the spot where the fire is. So until the first comma, this is latitude. After the comma, this is longitude. So just copy and paste this into Google Maps. And we can see where the fire is. Google also reports very strong fire, wildfire, very close to this location. So probably we're talking even about the same fire. What you need to know is that my information comes from satellites. Specifically, this is a NASA satellite, which reports wildfire and is telling me where the satellite is seeing the fire. Now, how Google reports this information, I have no idea, but I'm telling you this information comes from a NASA satellite. What else is reported? Alright, I told you, people with weird medical conditions, rare medical conditions. Apologies. So we can see that humidity for this time of the day was 32%, which poses a moderate risk for people with sensitive respiratory systems, and this may cause, by the way, mild airway irritation. Here we can see allergy high risk, so high wind pollen levels are 63.8 grains on cubic meter, and so on and so on. Basically, a lot of things are monitored here for people with respiratory conditions, for people with allergies, including sun allergy, which officially is called photosensitivity, people with geomagnetic sensitivities, really lots of things. You will not see it, it's all behind the scenes. About 13 different APIs are being queried for information behind the scenes, some of which is immediately displayed because it's important. The other has been evaluated, and the application decides which one is worth to show right now. But again, the information which is displayed is only for the specified area which is set as home area, and specific radius around this area, and also specific levels of which the application considers dangerous. For example, for earthquakes, the application will not report an earthquake even if it's just 2 kilometers away from you, if that earthquake happened to be on a very large depth, because earthquakes which are very strong but happen on very deep, they will not be felt at all, or will be felt very lightly on the surface. On the other side, surface earthquake, which is very light, could be felt very strong on the surface. This is why the application is doing lots of calculations and is displaying here only what is worth seeing. Important also to know, application is keeping actual warnings for today and the entire day of yesterday, starting from midnight yesterday. But only the last few messages which can fit this window are being shown here. Now, how to see absolutely all warnings I will show a little bit later. Basically, this is introduction to TUIWEATHERGIRL 1.2.15. Now, let's deep dive into the application. I will show you how to install it and how to make it work and how to interact with the application. Alright, first things first, where to get the application from? My GitHub application project page. So, github.com/StrayFarrow, which is me. By short, I go as StrayF, and then TUIWEATHERGIRL. And this is the project page. Now, you can download the project from here, or there are download links right here, whichever you prefer. But what I would like to point out is that here I put detailed documentation, what is the application, how to install it, how to troubleshoot, and so on and so on. So, and also screenshots and even the tutorial videos for Windows and Linux. So please take a look at this first and then go on and install the application. Now, what do you need before even downloading the application? So first of all, you need Python. Python 3 to be precise, and even more precise, any version after Python 3.10 would be fine. Which version do you have? Python -- version will tell you which version do you have. If you don't have Python, you will end up with an error, or you can just type which Python. But again, you need Python 3. If you have Python 2, please do get Python 3. Now, how to get Python? This depends very much on your distro. So consider your distro. Please refer to your distro package name and which package manager you use. Now, I am on Ubuntu 24.04.4 long-term support version. So this is Debian derivative, so I'm using apt. Alright, what else do you need? There are only few dependencies, Python 3 being the first one. Now, do not bother with these packages right here, because my installation script will install them for you. Don't worry. However, there are other mandatory components that you need, and two are just free API keys, one of which is mandatory. So TIMEZONEDB API key, this is free. I provide the URLs for you, so you just need to follow the URLs and create a free account. So let's start with TIMEZONEDB. So you have register right here, click it, and then you create a free account. They will send the API key to your email. Then we have NASA Firms API. You can get this, however you may not want it. So if you launch the application just as I showed you, this wildfire information that you saw was reported to me by NASA Firms. But maybe you're a person who is not interested in wildfire detailed information. In this case, do not do anything here. If you want to monitor the wildfire details, like even small wildfires, just click Get Map Key, put your email address, and NASA, yes, that same NASA, the space agency, will send you free API key to your email. That's all. Once you get the API keys, I provide what are the exact names of the environment variables that you need to set. But yes, you need to set the API keys into environment variables. So, in case you don't know how to create an environment variable, you can use the command export name of the variable equals, and in double quotes, and it will work even without quotes, you can type the API key, which is basically a series of numbers and letters. And the thing is, if you just say export, if you just type export, it will be valid only for the current session. To make it permanent, you need to either add it to Basher C, which will work, but the better place to put it is profile. The profile file is precisely for environment variables, so my advice is put the environment variables along with the values in the profile file. Basically, that's it. You are ready to go. Now let's download the application, and you can start the installation. One new thing which I introduced is that you need to download and install only the very first time you get this application. From there on, the application will auto-update as long as you do not disable it, because you can disable the auto-updates if you want, in which case you have to manually update the application via command line option. I will show you how. So let's download the application. Now for Linux, you can just grab this little installation file right here. Or if this doesn't work for some reason for you, just grab the zip file, extract, and use make install to install it. But let's go with this. So right click and let's save it. Let's actually save it to TMP. Alright, it's downloaded. Linux install.sh in TMP. So let's go to TMP and run it. Okay, this is the file, but we don't have executable privileges, so we can do this. Alright, let's run Linux install. we need to type sudo password. So what is happening? Basically, the shell file is then loading everything into TMP, and then it's installing the application for us. So now we can directly run TUIWEATHERGIRL, and we can launch it. What will happen? The first thing which will happen is the application will realize that this is brand new installation. We'll try to first see if there is a new version, and if there is a new version, we'll try to download it, which is a new functionality. Then we'll try to auto-detect where are we, which is our location. Then we'll try to pull weather information. Oh, more wildfires. However, our location is not this. This was wrongly detected, which can happen for different reasons. One of the reasons being, if you are behind a VPN, you will get wrong home location for sure. I will show you how to fix this very soon, very quickly. But now let's explain what's going on. So as I said, the application tried to auto-configure, then put meteorological information, weather information for the current location. There are no cities of interest yet. Currently is day and it's summer. And there is 86% humidity right now, which for the people with asthma could pose a risk, and it could mean that they could experience increased allergens and difficult breathing. Okay, and then we have some wildfires. This is because I have the NASA Firms API key set. If you do not have the NASA Firms API key set in the environment as an environment variable, you will not see this information. And as I said, unlike the other warnings which will have city-country code location mentioned, here you have only latitude and longitude. For those of you again who don't know, this is geographic coordinate. Until the comma you have the latitude, after the comma you have the longitude. To understand where is the fire, you need to just copy this and paste it straight into Google Maps. Right here in the search box. Okay, so this is where the fire is, and we can see that this fire is 38.1 kilometers away. Actually, I can show you how to verify this. This is a straight line. This is not how you will get how fast you will get with a car to there. So let's choose directions and let's choose I'm typing Blagoevgrad because this is the home location which the application currently got for us. So yes, if we go by car, it's gonna be 1 hour and a half, which is like 81 kilometers, but this right here is measuring straight line. So we can right click here and say measure distance, then we can right click here and say distance to here, and it's gonna be 38.01 kilometers. What do we see here? 38.1, precise. The same goes for the other wildfires. All right, this is fine. This is what is happening. Okay, let's go around. Now we got to the point where we must face the command line parameters. You have to start interacting with the application in order to get advantage of the full power. So first of all, help, and of course version. So let's type help and get the help. So the help is very detailed, and basically this is what you can use, this is how to use it, and that's it. Now the first problem that you might encounter: what if your home location was wrongly detected? Especially if you're behind VPN, it will be wrongly detected. How to fix this? So we can type view setup, and this will show us the home location and additional cities of interest. What we need to do to fix wrongly detected location is to select the location manually. So for this we use add city. So let's say we are in Toronto, Canada. We need to specify country, but let's make it more interesting, or at least I want to show you something. So let's say we are in New York. Now, because New York are two words, you need to enclose this in quotes, then add country, alright. New York has been added as a city of interest, and we can actually see how this looks on the screen. Right now, meteorological information for New York will be downloaded and displayed. So we can see that in New York right now is 25 degrees Celsius, sky is clear, it's sunny, and it's day, and it's 11:24 a.m. Okay. How to set New York as our home location? In the setup we can see that the home location is listed directly as city and country. Every other city that we add will be listed with a number in front of it. So we use this number. So we say set home 1, because New York is the first city, it's under number 1. And basically that's it. Now you can launch the application directly. Meteorological information for New York will be displayed. However, the warnings will still be displayed for the old location. New warnings will be for the new location, but old warnings for the old location will still be displayed here. If you don't want to see warnings for the old location, just type clear cache. This will delete the cache, the log file, and the warnings log file. Now let's launch the application again. Apparently in New York there are also wildfires. Let's actually verify this. Where is this thing? 19, almost 20 kilometers away from New York. Well, let's see. Let's see. Railroad. Where the hell is that? Ah, yeah. Well, as we can see, it's really in New York. For some reason, the satellite is telling me that there is a fire over there. It's weak fire on a small area, but yeah, there is fire. Well, let's choose another one just to verify that the information is correct. Okay, this is a little bit south, but yeah, alright. I guess there is fire. I cannot go and verify, but oh, fireplace, what the hell is that? Central Jersey fireplace. Oh, fool. This is some kind of a food truck, no? What? No. Screw that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, they have fire materials, so probably something happened and this is why they got wildfire. I mean fire. In this case, it's not wildfire, it's fire in an industrial area. Alright. But the thing is, the information is correct. Alright, now what is this? GDACS gives me information about all the other known and dangerous disasters. But in this very moment, there is a problem with the API. The information cannot be downloaded, so the application will try to query again in 30 minutes. Fine. So yeah. Oh, and forgot. As you can see, New York is now set as our home location. And the cities have been switched. You can see it here. So what if this city is actually useless to us? We don't need it. What you need to do is just type remove city and then the number is number 1. So let's remove city 1 and that's it. It was removed. What if we have a friend in Paris, France? So we would type add city Paris, country France, and my mother lives in Lisbon, so let's add Lisbon. Okay, as you can see, Paris and Lisbon have been added to cities of interest. Now we can see how this looks on the screen. Alright, Paris, Île-de-France, France, 26 degrees Celsius, currently overcast, some clouds. Time is 5:29 p.m. and it's day. And Lisbon, Portugal, 24 degrees Celsius overcast, 1 hour earlier day. Okay, cool. What I did in the past to get this information. Now you will understand why this application is so much useful. Well, in the past I would use clock application just as the GNOME clocks. So they are very much like the Android clock application that I have on my phone. So there are alarms, stopwatch, timer and world clock. So I will add all the cities of interest that I have and it will tell me what is the time, also if it's day or night, and I think basically that's it. Okay, cool, but it's just the time. So I don't know what is the temperature, I don't know what is the sky situation. If I call my mother, I can tell her, oh, how are you? I can see that it's let's say 4:31 p.m. What are you doing? But right now I know a little bit more. So I know that the temperature is this, the weather is this. Let's say if it's raining, I can call my mother, I can ask her, are you okay? I see that it's raining. For example, if there is a storm, I can see that there is a storm. Are you okay? Are you safe? That kind of stuff. With this application, you have it. And this will make you a little bit closer to your friends and relatives and will give you more information to discuss and talk about. Okay. Now, why I did it the way I did it? Well, I wanted to have a weather application for me, but also for my project DEWLINUX. So let me show you what is DEWLINUX. We are launching virtual machine, so I can show you what is DEWLINUX. DEWLINUX is basically Debian terminal only remix, so no desktop environment will be installed. Alright, that's it. It's only just terminal, bare bone terminal to be precise. And this is why TUIWEATHERGIRL was created. It was created actually for precisely this project. And what you see is just an earlier version of TUIWEATHERGIRL. Why it looks different? Because this is the same application as this one, but it's displaying different view. And I'm gonna show you the views. So yeah, I can download the latest and greatest. This is very old version, this is why I'm updating like this. Alright, the very new latest version actually, displaying different view. So this right here and this right here is absolutely the same thing, just different view. And this is why here I'm displaying simpler progress bars, because this terminal is not capable of displaying glyphs properly. I will show you what I mean a little bit later. Alright, so I wanted to have weather application precisely for this project. However, I then decided that I want something a little bit more. So I don't want just the weather information, I don't want just the weather forecast. I decided that I want to monitor the disasters. I decided that I want to monitor additional information, and I decided that I want to monitor also cities of interest. This is why I created this as it is. And since I always forget which are the seasonal fruits and vegetables for current season, for current area, so these are displayed here. So this right here are seasonals, fruits and vegetables for the current season, for the current home location area. Also, little cool healthy challenge for the day. And if there is a public holiday, it will be displayed here, but there is none right now, so that's why I displayed fun fact. And sunrise, sunset information, and so on and so on. It's not really that I need this, but out of curiosity I wanted to have it. So this is why I created it the way it is. And while I have the precipitation probability displayed as percentage, I wanted also to have it as progress bars. So all the blue progress bars are precipitation probabilities for the day, and they will turn to cyan if the precipitation probability is higher. Alright, I showed you so far how to install the application, how to do the basic setup, and how to add cities of interest or friends and relatives that you want to know about and to monitor. Now let's show you some of the new functionality. What if you have a friend scientist who is currently in one of the power stations? Alright, so what are the power stations? Let's take, for example, the Concordia station. What is the Concordia station? Concordia station is a French-Italian research facility on the Antarctic plateau. This is how it looks like. Yeah, and this is where it is. So there are two types of power stations. First type is stations which are within the geographical boundaries of a certain country. These are not the stations that I'm interested about, and these are not the stations that I'm telling you about, because there are other ways that you can set up such location. In what I'm about to show you is how to monitor power station which is in the middle of nowhere, let's say on the Antarctic. So Concordia station, this is the Wikipedia photo, so you can see it's really in the middle of nowhere. There is nothing around it, just snow and snow and snow and snow, and yeah. So let's say you have friend scientist currently working on Concordia station. How to set this up? For this to work, you need to check the help, and there is one specific command line parameter called list power stations. And this is full list of the power stations which are outside any country. So Concordia is number 2. So how to set this? I decided to hack into the add city parameter because I didn't want it to introduce way too many parameters. So we would use add city, then the station number, which is this number right here. Concordia is number 2. So we would type 2. As country, we would type power station. And Concordia was added to the list of our cities of interest. So let's add one more station. Number 44 is St. Clement Ohridsky, operated by Bulgaria. This is also Antarctic station. How this looks on the screen. Okay, now two things just happened. First of all, these two are colored in cyan. Yes, Absolutely everything here is color coded. I think I mentioned, maybe not, I will explain. These two are cyan because they are not cities, they are polar stations. This is why they are in cyan. Also, the temperature right now in Concordia is very low, dangerously low. It's freezing out there, so this is why this temperature is set as yellow on red background, because this signifies something dangerous. So let's actually check. All right. Current conditions, -60°C. My application is reporting -59, which is nearly the same. So yeah, information is correct. But what if you are actually the scientist working and residing in Concordia right now? So let's switch home to Concordia station and let's watch how much colorful the application would become. So Concordia is number 3. Alright, new home city is set to Concordia station. Just in case, let's clear the cache and let's launch. Alright. And everything here started to be red. Why? Because, well, tomorrow and actually today the forecasted temperature for Concordia station, the minimum temperature is -63°C. Think for a second, do you want to be outside Concordia station at midnight? No, you don't. I don't want to be at Concordia station right now. So yeah, it's fun. And also we got 2 warnings. Humidity in around Concordia right now is 66%, which poses risk for people with asthma. They would have difficulty breathing. However, at -59, I think most people would find it a little bit difficult. Still, the barometric pressure is 994 hectopascals, which poses a risk. It's a low atmospheric pressure. It poses risk for migraines, sinus headaches, and arthritis. All right, it's fun. Now, what if we live in the middle of nowhere? Let's choose location. Let's choose the Sahara Desert, and let's choose just any point in the middle of nowhere in Libya, far away from any human habitat, and let's be really in the middle of nowhere. I like this point right here. So what is the location here? Right click gives us the exact latitude and longitude. So let's copy this. Left click and it's copied onto the keyboard. Again, this is in the middle of nowhere. This is the Saharan Desert. How to set it in the application? Well, for this I introduced new parameters, but again it's a hack for the @city syntax. So latitude and longitude, this is how you will do it, but you still need to specify @city, and just type anything here which would tell you what it is. So let's say I'm having a hut over there, I just built it, so I will call it my hut number 1. We need to specify country. Now there is a little bug which I will fix in the next version. For now, just type an existing country, so let's say USA. Yeah, you can type it without quotes. And now you can also shorten to -lat. Okay. 28.002603. Okay, and now the longitude 11443530. Alright, that's it. So again, to at any point as a city of interest, use my city, then any description, country, use an existing country. I will fix this with the next version, that the country can be anything, and use latitude, latitude and longitude. Now let's press enter, and it's added my hut number 1 in whatever, we don't care actually. So let's see how this looks on the screen. Alright, so right now the temperature at my hut is color coded in red. Why? Because the temperature is high, like any temperature above 38 will be color coded in red, because it's dangerous for the people already. Now, if you want to have some fun, let's switch the home location with my hut and let's see how this will change. So my hut is number 5. Just in case, let's clear the cache. Let's launch. Yeah, so right now everything is in red because it's hot. If the temperatures go to extreme levels, it will be displayed in such color, yellow or red. This signifies extreme, something extreme. And humidity is 15%, which combined with this temperature is dangerous poses mild risk for people with chronic respiratory conditions. It could cause airway irritation. Humidity levels are too low with too high, which again, this is not just by itself, this is in combination with the temperature. This is why 39% is considered extreme. Normally it's not, but with combination with the temperature, it's considered extreme. Okay. Now, speaking of color coding, anything which is green is nice. So let's switch to Lisbon again. And let's clear the cache. Okay, everything which is green is nice, comfortable, and so on. Everything which is cyan is considered usually either icy or watery, like I'm using the color association with water here. Anything which is white is just trying to pick your attention. Anything which is gray could be of interest, but it's not really important. Anything which is red is close to extreme. Anything which is yellow on red is extreme. This means day, this means night. And basically that's it. There are no other color codes. Basically this is how the application works. Now, one thing to show you. Let's just see what's left actually. Yeah. So the very first time when you download the application, you will download it from the project page and you will install it the way I showed you. However, this would be only the very first time, because for the application right now, if you have any recent version, I introduced the auto update feature, so the application by default will auto update. All you need to do is time to time turn it off, like close it, because I don't know, maybe you will keep it open for days. I don't know. If you keep it open for days, just time to time close it, because after you launch it again, the very first thing the application will do is the application will check for updates, and if an update is found, it will be automatically downloaded and installed. Now, what if you don't want this? Then you can use auto update up and off or false. This will turn the auto update off, in which case you will need to use the update up to update the application. Even if auto update is turned on, but you want to just check if there are any updates, you can use update up and it will check for updates. If an update is found, it will be downloaded and installed. Great. What else is there? Views and themes. That's the last thing. Oh, and what files? Okay, let's talk about the files first. Files. You can use list files and the application will show you what files the application uses and where are they. So the first file is exactly where is the application. The second is the application config file, which you can look, and if you want you can modify. It's a standard ini file. You can modify manually, but there is really no need for this unless there is a problem or unless you really want to set something manually. However, if you mess something up and if the application starts giving errors, just delete this file, run the application again, it will auto-configure and will create the configuration file for you again. The next file is the warning log. This is actually a CSV file. You can type it. You can cut it. Right now there is only one thing, which is this thing right here. The application will keep warnings for the entire day of today and the entire day of yesterday, which means the starting of yesterday, which is at midnight. However, not everything will be displayed here, only the messages that fit this number of lines. What if you want to see all the messages? Well, yes, you can just check the file manually, or you can actually use one of the other views that I will show you in a minute. Next file is the cache file. Now this is not human readable, don't look at it. And finally, the log file. Now the log file is something that you would like to look at. Okay. So anything starting with session start means that the application has been launched. Session end means the application has been closed. That's it. If there is no session end, it means that something got wrong. Here you will see what the application is doing. The application will try not to write too much in order not to make the file large. Also, the file will be created in TMP, so when you restart the computer, the log file will be gone, because I don't want to keep it forever. Now, one of the last things we did was to check for updates, which you will see here somewhere. Anyway, so what happens when you run with clear cache? The cache file, the warnings log file, and the log file will be deleted. What something goes wrong? How you can troubleshoot? Well, what you need to do, you can start the application with debug or just -d, because let me show you. Normally when you start the application, it will write just a few things to the log file. However, with -d you will start receiving a lot more information. Alright, so currently the application is reading from the cache file. This is why you're not receiving much information in the log file. However, if we delete the cache, and the application will start querying all the APIs one by one again, see, we got a lot more information. Okay, basically this is the log file. You can investigate what happened. If for some reason the application crashes, doesn't matter for what, even if you do not have the -d, the exception will be fully logged here. So if you need to report me anything wrong, just copy anything starting from the session start to the session end, and also attach your config file, and this will help me debug everything. Now, what else is there to show? I guess the themes and views. Okay, so I showed you previously that this application was specifically created for my DEWLINUX project. By the way, you can actually check my DEWLINUX project on my GitHub page. So DEWLINUX is right here, you can download it. And there are instructions how to install it. Everything is very streamlined, very user-friendly. So I created, I wanted to have a weather application which can create and display multiple views. So the view you're looking at right now is the default view. This is called the dashboard view. However, this view was the view which was created for the DEWLINUX project. I wanted very simple view. This is why the progress bars are simple. Here there are no glyphs being displayed and the cities of interest are not being displayed in this view. There are still ways to see them, but not here. Also, once you select a view and color theme, you need to do this just once. No need to run the application every time with these parameters, because the application will save this information in your preferences in the config file. So when you launch the application, it will be launched with the last selected color theme and view. So let's select okay, so if I do not specify anything, the dashboard view will be selected for me. Alright, what other views are there? The motivational view. Now, if you are into Dungeons and Dragons and fantasy in general, you will enjoy this view. It's very poetic and doesn't display the cities of interest, but it's just poetic. I wanted to have something fun. Now, the basic view. The basic view will display nearly everything which the dashboard view displays, including the cities of interest. However, this is the only view where you are going to see absolutely all the warnings. So even if you have 30 warnings for today and yesterday, which they will not be displayed in any other view, you can see all the 30 warnings here. If you have 100 warnings, even they will all be displayed right here under the warnings. So this is why this view is here. And also this view is super simple. I wanted to have something extremely simple, so it will not be dependent on any terminal size or whatsoever. And finally, color themes. So let's switch back to and let's select a theme. Yes, you can combine parameters. So the main theme is called main. What if we want monochrome? So everything is gray except some white highlighted things. And the glyphs, there are no way for them to be monochrome, at least I don't know how. So they will be color, in color. This is demonstration of the other themes. And let's go back to the default, which is the main. All right, basically that's it. This is everything which the application TUIWEATHERGIRL have to offer, but it's really a lot. So as you can see, there is now auto update, there is now following of power stations, there is now you can set really any location on the planet Earth. the planet Venus is next to come, and I'm considering also support for the planet Mercury, as well as Ganymede and Galileo, but that's for a future version. So far, this is everything that this application have to offer. It's really nice set of features that I have selected for you, and again, if you like my application, please consider giving me a star on my GitHub repository. This is free application. I created it for free because I am long-time Linux user. I use lots of free applications and I wanted to give something back to the community. So I created what I think is currently the best, absolute best weather and disaster application, especially it's a terminal application. And for me, this is not about money right here. This is just about appreciation of my efforts, because this application has been in the making for about 4 months, some of which I had downtime where I could not stand looking at my code. So it's when you are sole developer and you develop things for your pleasure, it's really somehow it's difficult. You encounter technical difficulties, somehow you encounter personal difficulties. So yeah, it's difficult, and still I decided to push through and finally finish it and release it. And now I am adding finishing touches like the auto update feature and that kind of stuff, and I'm adding more documentation. So this right here is just about saying a little thank you to me, which I would highly appreciate if you do. So thank you in advance. Thank you for watching this video. Hope that you find my video informative and this application useful to you. I would be really glad if you use it. As for any questions, yes, you can write me directly on GitHub. However, I rarely monitor my applications here. If you write me on Reddit, and especially if you write comment under this YouTube video, I will answer very quickly within the same day. So if you have a question, just put it as a comment under this video, and or if you see me on Reddit, just post question over there, I will answer. That's it. I'm Stray F. You're watching SkateCode. This has been TUIWEATHERGIRL. Hope you like it. Hope that you find it useful. Thank you very much. If you like Linux videos and Python programming, subscribe to my channel. I also sometimes post gaming videos. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.